Hot Seat Podcast.
Yo, what is up, guys? We're back in the Hot Seat Podcast. This time we have another guest who is still coughing. Right now we have Kelly Joseph Lim.
Hi.
For those of you guys who do not know, Kelly is actually one of our leaders, I shall say, in Unicity. The one friend. Leader lah, lancau. The one that you guys know, if you guys have probably already seen all our videos, is about the 2 product 1 practice. So Kelly is the kind of like the are you the longest one inside there as of now?
As of now, I am one of the longest at 22 years.
22 years.
22 years, yeah. That makes me senior citizen.
Wait, you that means you got long service award for 2 times already lah.
Well, they never gave me a gold watch, man. Fuck.
Alright guys, so by the way, this is Kelly Joseph Lim. Please say hi to him. Please be nice, guys. I know some of you might have already heard the podcast with Kelly on Sembang Panas, but this time I want the session to be a little bit more intimate between me and Kelly. So it's just the both of us today. Okay, Kelly, I just want to ask, for 22 years, let's just get the ball rolling. 22 years you've been in Unicity.
Yeah.
How was the journey? The thing is, one of the things that wasn't asked to you during the previous podcast was, yes, 22 years, but what I know is that your journey wasn't easy.
Oh, hell,
especially
man.
from the start. It wasn't like my case when I entered.
You were a star, man. You were a star.
Yeah, so how was your story
My story is a story of idiocy and sheer determination. Right? So I started... you want to know the full story?
Yeah, full story from the beginning. The beginning.
But the beginning, huh? Okay, so when I started the time, right, I wasn't even planning on joining. But at that time, I was dating this girl. And that was my second girlfriend my whole life. So she tells you about my dating life at 22 years old.
That was 22 years ago lah.
22 years ago lah.
Which you were 22 years...
I was 22 years old.
Oh yeah, but wait. By the way, guys, if you guys do not know, Kelly is 44 this year.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, he is 44. Would you like to recommend to us the Chinese susuk that you've been using? Because you don't look 44 at all.
Well, here's a Chinese secret. The first thing you do is you cut onions, put it in your sock, and then you wear it to sleep. That's one thing it's going to do. It's going to yin your yang and yang your yin, you know?
Wait. Wait, that shit really works?
No lah, fuck that shit, man.
Bodoh. I believe you for once, Kelly.
You wanted the Chinese stuff. So the other one is to eat caterpillars. Cordyceps.
What the fuck?
Yeah, my mom, she boils these stuff, right? There's this plant. It's called cordyceps. So she would boil them every night. I'm from a Hakka family, so my mom prides herself for being like the chemist of the family, right? Every night, I would have a different soup. So the soup, you never ask what is in there. Because 3 times I asked, 3 times I want to puke. First night, I saw my mom. She was like a witch, you know. She was boiling the soup, right? Then she was like stirring it and saying, "Mom, what are you cooking?" "Oh, very nice. You like it tonight." Then you know what? Then she took out the contents of the soup to cut, right? When she took out, what I see? A brain. I'm not kidding.
What brain?
It's a brain. Okay, it's a brain. Let's say what kind of brain it is. My mom looked a bit shifty then. Pig brain. Then she was slicing the brain and eating, you know.
Like raw or cooked already?
Yeah, and some of you thinking...
cook.
But some of you are thinking, it's probably like my mom wearing a witch head and... and she was eating that. So, but that night, I had pig brain soup. Second night, I was given a bowl of soup. I learned not to ask. But as I was drinking, right, suddenly, there's this long thing in the soup. Got legs, one. It looks just like a caterpillar. It's like, fish, this caterpillar. No, drink now. Don't pour away. Like, drink.
With the caterpillar in?
The caterpillar was kissing my mouth, you know. Drink the soup, then soup. Like,
fuck.
Turns out it was this thing called cordyceps.
Okay.
Yeah, have you heard about it? What it does, the fungus, right, eats the caterpillar that was buried underground and it becomes a plant. But we Chinese eat anything, right? Cut the roots out, boil it as soup. So I had caterpillar plant soup, cordyceps. Third night, I had little slices of a root. It looks like burdock root. bloody ginseng. Wow, so pungent. It makes durian smell good, man.
Wow, fuck.
Yeah, so that's the Chinese thing. So that's why I never sell Chinese herbs. Because that's why I deal with modern Western supplementation and treatments.
There you go. Okay, back to your story.
Right, where was I?
The one that...
How I started.
Yeah, how you started.
Well, so it was the year 2002. I was with my second girlfriend at the time. And what happened was that she was this young lady, right? She was about 4 years younger than me, so she's 18 years old. Her parents were well-to-do, well-to-do family. The dad does a business. Her mom was a CFO of a Pakistani bank.
Okay.
I should have said that. The people are gonna guess. There's only one Pakistani bank right now. So she was the financial controller or CFO. I can't remember which. And they were approached by this guy that appears on TV.
Okay.
So he talks on Money Mind and all that. And this guy was pitching an idea for her to run a business that had the shape of a pyramid.
Okay.
And so he was talking. He wanted my ex-girlfriend's mom to join the business because she was someone of high profile. She said, I don't really want to join, but maybe my entrepreneurial daughter will join. And she was like, on. And of course, the person that guy really wanted, who later became my mentor for a number of years, he really wanted her because she was like the young star.
Okay.
Very entrepreneurial, 18 years old. She had a business, she had staff. And no joke, I saw this 18-year-old fire staff.
Okay.
Similar to Donald Trump, you're fired, go home right now. I saw that. Then after that,
Oh, she was that kind of
she
character?
was that kind of character, right?
Okay,
and
okay.
then I saw this staff, I go home, grown uncle in his 40s, called the telephone, Ma, I got fired.
Wow, shit.
She's that girl. And so this guy wanted her, but I was the boyfriend, right? And that time I was a designer. I was doing design work. I was doing online. I was doing websites. That time website was the thing.
Okay.
And so I thought, since she do, I do. Then he said, do la. So very excited. End up do what? Sell supplement. And then she quit. The mother quit. I was still here. I am still here.
Wait, she quit what? Her own business?
No, she quit the supplement business, which is the university today, and I'm still here. And she grew very fast. I started off my first year. You know what's my first check?
How much?
Serious one, This is the time where it was still okay to give single-digit checks. My first check was $3 something cents.
Wait. You mean like the physical check?
Yeah, they give physical check. I kept the check. $3.45, something like that. $3 plus cents.
Wow, shit.
It's stupid.
Your
I worked
first
the whole
month?
$3.
Wow, fuck.
What's your first check? I don't want to ask, man.
2K.
Oh,
2K plus. Yeah.
Damn it. $3, I can't even buy kacang,
Oh my goodness.
Chicken rice, I can't even draw that money off my bank,
Oh, yeah, $20, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And no pay wave that time. So it has been 3 months, 4 months I can draw my check. 8 months I can draw my check one time.
Wait, so 8 months?
So
All $3,
$4. Then later $8 became the new high. It was terrible. It was $8 the new high. So I was very slow. And what contributed to the slow was that I didn't talk last time. I was a very quiet guy.
Okay.
Imagine this. Now you all see this pretty good looking guy. That, hey. That time, T-shirt.
Okay.
Not slim fit, oversized. Got cartoon characters one. Wear jeans, no belt, tuck in.
Typical abeng style lah.
I hair straight, wear glasses.
Yeah, cibai abeng. That one really
No,
abeng.
And then after that, wear Reebok shoes with socks. So I walk around, backpack. Abeng don't do backpack.
Okay.
Gen Sport backpack.
Okay,
so walk around, I'm the nerdy type. Want to talk to people about how good these things are. I don't even know how to talk. So and it was so bad. One of the worst attempts at sales was at the time where I went to a motivational seminar. This was done by the time where it was at National Indoor Stadium. I did. I went through a motivational National Achievers Congress. You heard of that?
No.
NAC. That time, I motivate everyone. The motivational speakers go there. So I went there. Then I got pumped up and motivated. Then I received a flyer of someone, of a very famous, I won't mention his name because he's still around and he's still famous, a very famous property director.
Okay.
He was recruiting agents.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the flyer, then I called. And this is how bad I was, okay? I got so motivated. I called the guy. I called the guy. Hi, my name is Kelly Lim, and I'd like to talk to this so and so director, please. I said yes. What's the nature of this call, sir? Oh, I have a business proposal for him.
Okay.
Wow, then they were so impressed, They're so impressed, and the secretary made an appointment with me. I set the appointment. So happy. I was at the basketball court at the time. Then finally the day came. I went there. Then they were all surprised. Young boy, 22, 23 years old. Go there, make business proposal, sit down. Then after that, wow, the secretary served me water. Served me water. Mr. Lim, would you like anything? Yeah. So I sat down. Then so the guy was very magnanimous, Young man, yes, how can I help you, young man? And I say, I want you to join my MLM business. Oh, can I fuck by him?
Seriously?
Yeah, can I fuck by him?
He fucked you upside down just because you from the first line itself.
I mean, I wouldn't blame him. I went there with a lot of gusto, right? I went there with a lot of bravado,
Okay.
Then go there, MLM. Then he's like, boy, you know who I am or not?
Wow.
Then he started to give me a lecture, Then I still try to debate a bit, but after my debating skills are not 2 minutes I lost already. So after that, he give me a lecture about how property is the easiest sales, followed by insurance, then followed by MLM is the worst, Then after I go there, I want to cry. Then finally I come out. There's still feeble attempt. I tried to talk to the secretary. You want to join my business? She said, no.
Wow. You even tried the secretary.
I mean, you're desperate, right? You know how much I'm making at the time? Like $8,
Wait, so you were doing this when your paycheck was that much?
Yeah, I thought like I make $1 million.
Okay.
That was a motivational courage. So I was that bad. I couldn't get people to join. It was so bad that my mentor had to come down and meet me at the coffee bean because I'm breaking down already. Then he said, usually you give me a lot of pep talk. That day he just stirred coffee with me, stare into the coffee because he knew who I talked to. Cling, 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 cling.
Your favorite mentor, the one that always throw face to us?
Yeah. That favorite mentor. At that time, those that don't know the story, ask me privately, okay? So he had nothing to say, He and I just stared at our coffee, cling, cling, because he knew who I talked to. And the guy was famous, cling, 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 cling. That was stupid. Don't do it again. That was the only pep talk he would give me,
Straight to the face?
Straight to the face. And so I was that bad. I was, and I struggled with that for about 7 years. And I think the only thing I was good at is not giving up. And some days were so bad. I mean, don't even have money to take the last bus home,
Oh my God.
Have you experienced that before?
Yeah.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, why did you go home so late and miss the last bus? So I stayed at Serangoon Gardens that time. Then after I finished at Ang Mo Kio because no Serangoon MRT at that time. Walk from Ang Mo Kio MRT to Serangoon, that's 1 hour.
Every time just to go back?
I learned not to do that after 4 times.
Okay.
And then, that time the late night taxi, right, is double charge. You remember those days?
Yeah.
And the double charge, right? So it's like $4 because $8 because $16.
Correct.
So I just walk home. Then I learned, right? Some things you're not good at, right? You've got to ask. And if I had known at that time that I wasn't good at this, I may not have joined. I might not have started a business like that. But I think very many people, and maybe some people in the audience, right, you might be in a place where you just started something that is more than you could chew, and it's too late to back out already. So the next best thing you can do is go and learn. So I became a good student. I started learning things like how to talk to people, how to engage people. I'm an introvert. I'm still an introvert. And so I've learned to hold conversations. I learned to make good eye contact. Last time I looked everywhere. Make good eye contact. I learned to manage myself internally. Then finally, my first proper income was 1.3K.
1.3K, and that was after how long?
7 years.
Wait, wow! After 7 years, then you've got your first biggest paycheck.
Yeah.
Which is 1.3K.
1.3K, around there. I remember it's like, I'm so happy I finally crossed $1,000.
Okay, Kelly, this is a question that I want to ask. Like any person with normal common sense, right? The moment, let's say you give it a month, 2 months, people would already have started dropping out.
Yes.
Getting like a single digit, $4, $5, $8.
Yeah.
Like, I want to ask, like, how did you survive through that 7 years?
First, it was hard. I learned to eat one meal per day. Hence OMAD, right?
Okay.
I learned to eat one meal per day. If I meet eight, and at that time, right, it was either I had to either choose to take money from my single mother, or have a second job. So I did insane things. I gave tuition.
Okay.
I was a tuition teacher for a while. And I couldn't tell people because I'm supposed to do business, right? So I on the side, I was a tuition teacher for a while. I was an exam invigilator. Ask me about that. Seeing foreign students take exams, right, is the most hilarious shit I've ever done in my life.
Okay.
Hilarious shit. Then I was a dating coach for a very short time.
Wait, what? Dating coach?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I was a dating coach with this group of guys that was doing small seminars for people who are in SDU and SDS at the time. No more already, I think SDU.
What's that? Singapore.
Social Development Unit, but some people
okay.
call it a single desperate unwanted.
Okay.
So so I did side jobs. I learned to eat lesser, and I learned to be really save money. Really save money. Don't buy stuff, and just really stick on to it.
So all these side jobs are the one that is letting you.
Ironically, the side
Go
jobs
through.
added together was 3K,
which
is more than the damn business I was doing.
Okay. But now one question. 7 years, Kelly. That is a freaking lot. If you say 7 months, maybe I still can believe that.
Yeah.
Someone would actually, okay, you know what? Maybe this business works for me, that kind of shit. But you held on for 7 years. What made you so sure that, fuck it, one day I'm gonna make it? Like, what was that drive that brought you to where you are right now?
Okay. I think this is something that young people can understand, and it's a strength of young people. Anyone below 25, you have that strength, but sometimes we don't use that strength enough. And this is what it is. When we're young people, a lot of people would watch our back. Your parents will watch your back. They'll scold you.
True.
Don't do stupid things, right? And when I started something new, and I believe I'm not the only one. When I started something new, right, like the business I was doing, my mom was against it. And my mom is an expert direct seller, and she told her own son, you don't do it because you cannot do it. Yeah, I don't blame my mom. She's protecting me. My aunties and uncles had this grand council beside me, and I found out about it. They say that don't buy anything from him. Discourage him so he gives up. So that was all that. And then I was adamant, and I think most of us young people are. I don't want to. I say I do it. I want to prove you're wrong. And I hear young people say this a lot. And there are a certain breed of young people that will see that through. I was one of those because faith is very important.
Correct.
So I die have to make that work, because if I were to lose that, and then they said I told you we were right, I would never stand up again. And this was a common thing for young people in my time. I see that still in young people today, and although I think young people today are a bit more softer.
Yeah. I see that. Yeah.
But I think that propensity for that strength is still there. So I recommend the young people, if you believe in something, just fight for it, even though you have no evidence you'll succeed. So I pushed that through, and it made me desperate. The frustration and the desperation obviously is there. But I think I've learned along the way, right? I cannot try to lie to myself that these things are not there. The negativity is there. And if I pretend the negativity is not there, I'll never learn from the negativity. I have to own that negativity, and I need to blame myself for that negativity. Why is it not doing well? Oh, it's because the economy. Screw that shit. Fuck you, Kelly. If I'm not doing well, it's because I am the one to blame. I am the problem. I am the only problem I'll ever have. But that means I'm also the solution. That means to say, right, if I'm at fault, I fix it. It's called accountability. I fix it, I learn. I study, I learn, I do this, I do that. And if I have to put my face down to go and find a different job, then I do it. Because it's got nothing to do with how good I look. It's got to do with you want to survive or not. Your ego want to survive or not. So just go through that. I think 7 years is insane. I agree. I agree. I might not ever do it again.
Too long, lah. 7 years.
Too long. But I wanted to win. And I think, ID, you're someone like that too.
I wouldn't.
No?
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to be honest, if I'm getting like those kind of
$8.
yeah. I mean, so like $8, $7. I'm like,
Maybe not
fuck,
now lah.
it's gonna be a waste of my
You're dad.
time and
You're a
effort.
dad. Yeah. You're a family man. But I wasn't. And so my currency wasn't cash. My currency was face, was ego.
Okay.
So I was lucky that I wasn't taking care of anything. So I had to build up that currency that was important to me. It was my ego and my pride. And I think I also learned somewhere, if you allow your pride to go down the drain for too long, at some point you don't even know it exists. And it was important. How you allow one thing to happen is how you allow it to happen forever. So you can lose everything, you cannot lose your sense of pride. So built that up 7 years. It was a hard thing. I won't go through it again. And when I finally got through, right, $1,300 is not a lot of money. And
That was in which year?
2007.
Considered
2008.
still considered a lot lah. GST not that high yet, ma.
Not that high yet lah. Then I was a gundu. I went to buy my first car.
Wait, with that 1,300,
Stupid, right?
what car?
Subaru Impreza.
What the fuck?
Sounds cool, right? Sounds cool. It's a Subaru.
Hey, that's a dope car, man.
It sounds dope. But I guys, hear this. I said I bought a Subaru Impreza. Some of you would misconstrue that and think that I bought a Subaru WRX. I said Subaru Impreza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, the WRX has about 250, 260, 300 horsepower. My Impreza on paper had 98 horsepower. maybe lesser than some motorcycles, you know.
98, okay.
It's damn slow. I'm constantly beaten by Mitsubishi Lancers.
Okay, and you bought that because?
I bought that because I wanted to show people that, you know, hey, I'm going somewhere, you know.
Was it like a trending car at that point of time?
It was the most I can afford. Actually, frankly speaking, the car I really wanted to buy was a Honda Civic at the time.
Okay.
So those of you, I said don't buy Honda Civic, I've been there before, okay? So I bought the Subaru Impreza because at that time, even a second-hand Honda Civic had to pay like what? The time cars were cheaper. So I had to pay like what? $600-$700 per month.
Okay.
But the Impreza was on discount. It was brand new. It was $55K.
Okay.
And I only paid $500. And if I'm not wrong, I remember the figure was $560 per month.
Per month. Okay.
Which I kind of can afford, and I was doing a bit of tuition at the time, and so it was okay. Then,
okay, question first. Did you buy it because you wanted to show?
I bought it because I wanted to show, and because by the time I was dating another girl.
Do you okay? Honestly, do you feel like this is one of the main problems that I would say our Singaporeans face, like just because they start earning a bit and then they feel like, I need to show it off. Do you feel like that's the case, or and is it a good thing or a bad thing in your opinion?
That is a very good question, and I'm gonna try to give you the best answer I can. Okay, if I'm an employee, and you know how employees' income go. If I'm an employee and I have, I know my increment per year is a few $100s, and there's actually no need for me. I work in an office, and I spend most of my time in office, right? Buying a car is not a great idea, and I think for that matter, right, being too extravagant on your sales, on your spendings, is generally not a great idea. There is a beauty to prudence, to be able to manage your money properly. And so when young people make $3,000 and they spend $2,500 on a expensive car or buying branded stuff, right? I think that's financial suicide. Never underestimate the importance of savings, guys. Don't underestimate that, because one day these savings can either multiply your wealth or it can save you in an emergency. So I think this is important. So on one hand, it pays not to anyhow spend. But I did learn along the way, and one thing I was very lucky in that 22 years, the first 10 years, right, I was very lucky because I constantly had very good mentors, even the ones outside of my business.
Okay. Some
of the people, again, I say, and I don't want to sound mysterious, but I really don't feel like I should mention them, because if I say who is who, then you all know, you know, they're actually known people. Yeah.
But good points or bad points?
Very good points.
Good points, then just say lah if you want.
Well, one of the mentors I learned a lot from was a NS Man Army Colonel
Ooh.
who was also the managing director of a company who also set up a different company. He was the managing director at that time of a company that's well known to people, and I don't know what the
Company does.
trademark repercussions are, so I won't mention that company. But he also set up another production house for websites and multimedia, which hired me on a part-time basis. So I think he taught me this guy. His name was Jordan. There's a lot of Jordans to both. So his name was Jordan. I learned a lot from him. On one hand, he was a great father. On the other hand, he was a great boss. He was also someone that I learned a lot of life principles from. And then I also had another mentor who was, during the time I was with a small junior volunteer group for a bigger organization called the Rotary Club. You might have heard of it. So there's Lions Club, there's Rotary Club. I was in the Rotaract Club, and I was ambitious at the time. So I opted to be the president of a Rotaract Club, which is a junior Rotary Club. And I had this mentor, his name was Gobok Singh. Is a finance guy, and later on became a venture capitalist. So I've learned a lot from these guys as well. I've learned the importance of imputation. That means being able to dress for the part, being able to connect with people. Those things I learned from him. Of course, my mentor in my business at that time, he was a great mentor. He was the CEO of a financial institute as well. So I've learned a lot from him. So those things I've. What was I talking about this? Okay. So when through these mentors, right, I've learned that if I do want to buy something, I buy it because it will only expand me.
Meaning?
If I were to spend $300, that $300 must either build me up so that I can make even more in the future, or the thing I buy must be able to appreciate.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you see where this is coming from, right?
Understand.
So if I were to buy an LV, a Louis Vuitton, right, it must expand my image to the people that matters the most, so that I can expand my standing in that person's view, so that I can expand my business. For example, if I were to buy a car, it must, and you know one thing about cars are interesting, because for people that don't know, cars are transportation, right? And for which case, right, it makes more sense to buy a motorcycle, right, or to take public transport, or do get go. But sometimes the fact that a young person can own a car, and I say this only if it matters, only if you're, let's say, doing a business, only if it matters, right? Being able to handle a car, right, is a sign that you are capable enough to handle your finances. So much so you can buy in Singapore is $100,000 for a car minimum, right?
True.
So that gives you a bit of credibility. And between someone who tells me, let's say two persons, right, come to me and say that I've got $1 million deal for you. One person come and meet me in a bus. And one person drives to me, let's say even they drive and meet me with a Toyota Corolla. I trust the guy with the Toyota Corolla. Because I know this guy can manage the money. And then this guy with the bus, right, why are you still riding the bus if you got $1 million deal? So very hard to believe. So if you're going to buy stuff, boys and girls, if you want to buy stuff, buy it only if it expands you. If your life path, you haven't decided on what you're going to expand on or what you're going to be in the future, you haven't decided on the most important part of you, right? Don't spend. It's insane, right?
True.
What Louis Vuitton, what Babe, in fact, I'll go so much to say don't buy your Superdry. But those are costly stuff.
Okay, here's the thing, guys. For those of you guys who do not know, right, here, this is something that happened behind the scenes of this whole thing. During one of the days at Unicity office, Kelly actually sat down with me, and then we were calculating my pay and my projected pay at the supposed time, and then he mentioned he was actually trying to. In a way, convinced me to buy a sport car.
Do we mention which sport car it is?
Porsche. It's Porsche again. Yeah. So and then me being me, as you guys have heard from a lot of different podcasts, I always keep saying that, you know what for? I'm the type that likes to live like I don't need to show off that I'm rich and everything. But then this was what Kelly mentioned. Exactly what he mentioned earlier was the thing that made me actually took a different view at these kind of things. Because and then after that, because it's like I'm kind of I would say affected by what he mentioned, like about it did change my perception. That's why I was like, okay, maybe I shall buy a Porsche.
I think, guys, those of you that know ID well, I'll tell you honestly, because I didn't start off as a very social media savvy. I'm not very that. I'm 44 years old, right? I had no idea how famous ID was. Until I realized ID walk on the street, got people say, "Hey, bang," I was blown away. And don't you guys agree that ID would look good in a Porsche? Given what he is.
You see, this is why that all those classes that you go to works. You make me want to buy it right now.
Frankly speaking, ID, I tell you, you look so good in a Porsche, right? I would it's a big tragedy if you don't have one.
And the other thing that makes me I questioned Kelly once also, like, why are you always wearing this Coach jacket?
Oh, yes.
And I think the story behind it.
I got a more accurate
go.
explanation. Right?
Carry on.
Okay, guys. When we were young, right? You watch Power Rangers. Instantly, you know what is the personality of Red Ranger. Or Green Ranger, or Yellow Ranger, or Black Ranger, or White Ranger, or Pink Ranger, either one. If you watch Dragon Ball, the main character, Son Goku, he's always in the orange and blue thing.
Correct.
It made him recognizable. And then, right, you talk about my personal idol, Steve Jobs.
Wait, that is such a boring idol.
No, he's so cool, man. I'll tell you about Steve Jobs in a bit. But Steve Jobs was so cool. This is the guy that made it possible to make iPhones and digital phones cool, right? And he would be dressed in a turtleneck every day. And it's not normal turtleneck, it's a Izemiyake at the time. It had a name, it's called a semi-dal tea. Yeah, dal.
Wait,
It's
is expensive?
Yeah, it's Izemiyaki. Behind the scenes story, right, was this. Steve Jobs wanted to create an identity for Apple at the time when he was restarting Apple. Then so he wanted to create something that was nice. He saw that the Sony CEO had this uniform that was a jersey, like a blazer for his staff, and it created a sense of identity at the time. And he wanted to create something, so he got Izemiyaki to do turtlenecks. Izemiyaki did a few hundred of those turtlenecks, and he brought those turtlenecks and said, "Guys, we have uniforms." He got booed off his meeting. So he had few hundred, as I remember, hundred over turtlenecks, right? Nothing to do, right? Everyday wear. But now these days, you cannot think of Steve Jobs without thinking of the turtleneck. You don't think of Steve Jobs wearing a shirt and Hugo Boss.
Yeah.
Right. Turtleneck every day. So I decided, and Mark Zuckerberg at that time, he was wearing that grey t-shirt and jeans. So I think right, if I needed to be recognizable, I need to dress something similar. You see me with this all the time, right? I promise you, I do have more than one place, one thing. And for a while, I was wearing turtlenecks, but then I was starting to feel shy when I walk into Apple shop,
And Singapore weather not helping with the turtleneck.
When you want to be successful, anything can go.
Dress to impress,
dress to succeed. So I thought and I think most people that they see me on social media, I'm always wearing this because I want to be recognizable in something. I actually, the more recognizable things, I always wear this police brand shirt. I liked it because it is form fitting, and I'm short, right? ID is blessed to be tall, but I'm short. So I need to be form-fitting to give the illusion I'm tall. But because of how I look and because my hair is long, right, most people think I'm gay. Nothing against the LGBT movement. I have lots of friends who are in the LGBT movement. I'm not. I'm straight. Okay. So I couldn't handle that thing. So I thought a hoodie was a great idea. So what hoodie? I've been wearing the Uniqlo hoodie for a long time. Then I thought, Coach, not bad. So is coach day in, day out.
Right. Okay, guys. Since Kelly mentioned about him looking like a girl, right? I'm gonna let you guys know of a funny story. This story was when me and Kelly wasn't even close yet at all. Like it was to the point where whenever I come to the office, right, I'm even so scared to talk because he's like I mentioned, it's like the leader kind of thing. You know,
Really?
I always felt like, okay, there's hierarchy, you know, like must
Did you really think that?
must be somebody first, then can talk to Kelly, that
I
kind.
think I'm an idiot.
No, and Crystal is always beside you and her face always like bitch,
Right.
resting bitch face there. That's so scary.
Yeah, that's the real boss.
Yeah, so I thought like, oh, must pass Crystal first, then can then can start talking to you, that kind of shit. So like I mentioned, have not even talked to Kelly at all. And then as I was doing videos, and then as per normal, one day I was scrolling through TikTok early in the bloody morning while smoking. Okay, in the toilet, scrolling while shitting, scroll, and then I chance upon Saiful's video. So as usual, and you know, Saiful has sometimes make those transformation video. This is how this person went from this to this and that.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was Kelly. Okay, it was Kelly. The first photo was him, big size, a bit bigger size, wearing clothes, fully clothes.
No clothes.
No, the first one.
Oh, first one got the green shirt, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the after photo was him topless. So I saw the bloody nipples, and I was like, "Fuck! Did Saiful just show girls' nipples?"
Hey, bro, you think about it, if a girl got so small nipples, what every poor thing, right?
No, it's not. It's not about whether it was big or small, Kelly. It was. I thought you were a girl, and then I saw your nipples there.
What the hell?
Staring directly at me while I was sitting on the toilet at 8:30 a.m. in the morning.
That's such a manly body,
Yeah,
man.
I was like, fuck. This is a guy. And then I still remember at 8:30 a.m. after I saw that, I straight away called Saiful video call. I video called Liz. I video called Ferd. Everyone, Ferd was in the toilet. Saiful was in the toilet as well. And I was like, guys, why did you guys not tell me? And I was like, what? Everyone was like, because everyone thought like something went wrong somewhere. And I was like, why nobody tell me Kelly is a guy?
Oh shit.
And then Saiful was like, bro, what you mean you don't know he's a guy? I'm like, I just talked to him. I just talked to her. What? Isn't her voice like? Then Saiful was
okay.
like, and then Saiful was like, can you stop calling her? It's a him. And you get that a lot.
Yo, that was a big change, man. Yes, I get that a lot, largely because of my name. Do you know why my name is Kelly?
Yeah, why Kelly?
Some people think, right?
Another funny story.
Some people think, right, I came up with that name, right, because it's so sexy. You know, it's not.
But it's not even a nickname. It's your real name.
It's my real name. It's my you wanna hear my Chinese name? It's called Kylie. Mom, this is on you, okay? I know my sister will watch this. So, legend has it that my mom, while she was conceiving me, she had this epiphany that her first child will be a daughter.
Oh,
So she came out with the name Kelly first.
did she scan?
Before
check
she
gender?
scanned, she was so sure. As per my mom, she's
okay.
always sure. So finally, she decided, my firstborn will be called Kelly. So, after that, they went for the scan. Went for the scan already. Oh, got cuckoo jiao. You know what? You know why I still got called Kelly?
Why?
Because my mom said, I did the check already. Kelly is actually an Irish warrior's name. Tell me one Irish warrior. What? Go and fight in Troy. What? Say, behold, my name is Kelly.
But not fierce.
Not fierce at all. I mean, like, even Achilles also never got called Kelly, you know. And that one is bi, right?
Oh, what?
So I got called Kelly because my mom insists there was a man's name, very manly, Gaelic warrior, Irish warrior name. I go to school, my first school, Rosyth Primary School, thank you, Rosyth School. Rosyth School was in a phase where Chinese students must use the Chinese name all the time. What's gonna worse? My name is Lim Kelly. My Chinese name is Ling Kai Li.
Did you add the accent or is it pronounced that way?
No. I mean, if I do the English accent, it's Lin Kai Li. But no, in Chinese, it's Lin Kai Li. So I was forced for 6 years. 6 years, guys. You know, it really broke my mental health. You know, I had to write my name not Lim Kelly, which is bad enough. I had to write LIN space KAILI. Then in the other class, there's a girl who's a top student. Her name is Xie Kylie. Kelly Xie. Kelly Lim meet Kelly Xie.
Maybe that was the daughter your mom wanted.
Yeah, man. I mean, I would have worked well if they gave me a name like David or something, you know.
Hey, at least you're not Dick Lee. Like, I wonder how that guy survived through school growing up.
I'm very scared he watched the podcast. But you know, that's quite...
Yeah. Okay. So since you mentioned about school and everything, like
Yeah.
how were you growing up? Like how was Kelly growing up? Like going
You mean
to
Kylie?
school? How was Kylie?
Okay.
Yeah, did you get bullied a lot because of your name?
No,
or
strangely, I
whatever?
didn't get bullied. I was a strange kid. I mean, the word to use for me wasn't...
The weirdo? Were you the weirdo in school?
No. It's okay, imagine... you know Emily the Strange?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I was the male version of Emily the Strange minus the sexual... minus the sexiness.
Mm-hmm.
Emily the Strange minus the sexiness.
You find Emily the Strange sexy. That's
Okay,
even
Friday.
more weirder.
Oh, she's hot. I know for some people she's a challenging wank, but
Yeah.
I think she's got class, you know. Okay, maybe more like Friday,
Okay.
Adam's Family,
Uh-huh.
right? Strange like that. I was like that, except I'm not a girl. I hardly looked like one at that time. I had a bowl cut
Uh-huh.
because my mom.
Again, your mom.
Because my mom.
Auntie, you very problem, man.
My mom, I tell you, my mom is insane. My mom was trained as a hairstylist because she insists, don't look down on me. I am London trained, London cut. So I never quite visited the hairstylist. I'd never been to the barber. My mom would cut the hair. Her London cut was woman's cut. Woman's cut. So every day my hair got curl in one.
Oh, it's like the concave, that guy.
Even the mushroom got a curl in one. And I was like, what the hell was that, man? Every year I got caught for a haircut. It's not my fault. And then, so I was like that. I was wearing, halfway through I was wearing glasses. And I was a very short kid. I was about 1.5. Right? Now I'm 166, but I was 1.5 that time. So I was a short kid, never talked to people, but I looked at people like that one.
That's fucking weird.
That was a fucking weird shit, right? So all throughout that time, then young that time you got a crush at girls, right?
Uh-huh.
The girls I had a crush on are all afraid of me because I was the male version of Friday.
Oh, okay.
So I would stare at them like that. And my idea of a friendly chat with them is sit beside them and look at them.
Okay, a bit personal. What age was your first girlfriend at?
Wow, my first girlfriend was at age 18. And it was a poor thing, that girl. Because, right, the only reason why she was my girlfriend at the time, she was 4 years older than me.
Older?
Yeah, older.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like I had so much charisma, right?
22.
Poor
Okay.
thing that time. She was Thai Australian, staying in Australia.
Uh-huh.
And then we met on the internet at a time where ICQ was the thing. How many of you are old enough to know ICQ?
What the fuck is that?
Oh.
What the fuck? MIRC is like the limit there
Okay,
already.
MIRC was there.
Anything before is too old already, Gilly.
Hey, no, they came in a pair. IRC and ICQ were the heavenly duo.
Okay.
IRC is when you do group chats.
Uh-huh.
And that's where I met her. I set up a IRC chat called You Are Drawing because I was an artist at that time. What's
Fucking cringy. You are drawing.
You Are Drawing. You Are the Earth.
Okay.
So, ICQ. So she was an Australian artist. I was a Singapore artist. She had no idea. When you take photo, you take overexposed photo,
Oh, yeah.
right? So you need to see the eyes and the mouth. And I look pretty good.
Uh-huh.
Because you don't see the glasses and the pimples.
That time how you take photo?
That time
The 3GP phones or...
What do you mean? That time there's no mobile phone.
Yeah, that's how you take photo.
I bought it with a Panasonic digital camera.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Still got camera.
Wow, bro. I'm old but not that old, you know. You think
My
I'm
bad,
Captain Caveman?
My bad.
Flintstone, my Subaru run.
Okay.
So we didn't meet. So eventually, she became. She asked me, I got a shock also. I was so excited. I'll give you my excitement response later. She asked us, Kelly, I've been meaning to ask you, and we're using an online voice telephone app,
Okay.
which was called Voxer.
So, okay.
You probably have not heard of it because Skype was the mainstream thing, and it came only like 10 years later. So at Voxer, I use a karaoke microphone, connect there, then talk like that, talk, and then we can chat over there. I've been meaning to ask you, Kelly, would you like to be? Would you like to be my boyfriend? I was like, wow. Then okay, 18 years old, wear glasses, then I go on my bed. She cannot see because there's no video camera at the time. Yes.
Hey, voodoo. Kelly, you were so happy. You jumped on your bed and then...
No, I was hammering the thing. I wasn't wanking off, okay? Like, wow, shit, finally.
You give it the wrong idea, Kelly. I thought you were that happy, Kelly.
No, it's that's like that.
Oh, okay.
I pray my mom never comes. Oh shit, I just taught my mom to use TikTok.
Okay.
Shit. My mom didn't
Someone
like
say
her.
your mom is really unique and strong.
My mom is strong. I'll tell you more stories about her later. This panas thing, right? This hot seat is more hot seat for my mom. I'm spilling all her secrets. Where was I?
Okay, the wanking part. Okay.
No! I was so excited. So we dated for a while. Dated for 6 months. She spent my... I tell you, I know my looks wasn't something at the time because she saved money to come over to Singapore to find me.
Oh damn.
My mom didn't like her because she is afraid that I got cheated by older women. I mean, frankly speaking, how does a girl cheat a guy?
Yeah.
I mean, what I lose? Virginity?
Still gonna be win.
Yeah.
Win-win, yeah. Okay.
And then, so she stayed with us for about 5 days before she went back to Australia.
Okay.
After that, she broke up with me.
How she look like in the photo?
No, she looks bad in the photos today. Shit. Okay. Anyway, you don't know who it is. Okay. She looks bad on the photos today, but my standards are so low. I was so desperate. Right? Anyone.
Yeah. 18 years old, too desperate.
Yeah, I mean, like frankly speaking, she's got a unibrow.
Oh.
I'm so glad it didn't work out. I mean, frankly, shave the middle lah. Sorry, guys. I learned to talk a lot more because I've been so suppressed in my early years. So she went back, broke up with me, and said that she'd rather be with her best friend of many years that liked her for many years.
Staying in the same country.
Staying in the same country. Vietnamese guy dated the Thai girl. And I wish them well.
Alright.
So that's the first girlfriend.
Okay.
So bad, man.
Okay, Kelly. Back to one more serious question.
Yes.
Okay. So you mentioned that you have been in university for about 22 years and everything. And you mentioned also earlier that your family members, your aunties, your uncles were telling don't support this guy so that it would discourage him to do all that. I just want to ask you I don't know about the Chinese community, but the Malay community wise, do we have this very bad stereotype towards the MLM business?
Yes.
Is it the same for the Chinese people?
Oh yes, it's the same. It's the same. In fact, I'll go so much to say this: the only real difference between the Chinese and the Malays is just you all have more togetherness, more kampong spirit, and I admire the Malays for that. We Chinese were not so different in our mentality, right? It's not that different. Our prevalence for MLM is there. It's just that we Chinese, right? Even if it's bad, if it pays the bills, maybe I could do it. That's the idea. So they were. I think it was the Chinese community first that did MLM in Singapore.
Okay.
I think it was that, and I think it was towards the later part of year 2000 to the early 2010s that we see a lot more Malays doing MLM. And my family had that. Was they were anti MLM, and they were against it. The irony was my mom was with this other big company called New Skin.
Okay. Another MLM company, right?
Another MLM company. And my mom is a single mother, so she does anything to pay the bills. So and my auntie was pretty high ranking in New Skin as well.
Okay.
And but they protected me from New Skin because I was like the golden child, you know. They from a broken family, but then had to be
Were you the
defended.
only child?
No. I had a younger sister. She's brilliant.
Is her name Kylie?
No, her name is Kai T, which is a strange thing. Her name is Kath. Yeah, her name is Kathy, but her Chinese name is Kai T. And you know, those of you that know Mandarin, right? T sounds like emperor.
Oh.
So my sister, I'm short, fair, and soft. My sister is tall, tan, chiseled.
Oh.
She's got chiseled features. I don't know where.
So
don't
she
know
looks
why.
like the manly one, lah.
No, she looks Eurasian.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know where she got that genes, right? She's got very chiseled looking features. She got very sharp nose and all that. And I got a blunt pug stuff.
Okay. Okay, back to the story.
Back
The
to
golden
story.
child.
So I was protected, and they thought that I cannot handle it because I'm a broken child. Golden child must take care, you know, very fragile one. And so the moment I got into it, right, I mean, they wanted to protect me. And actually, I think it's not so different because most of the time when someone in the Malay family is against a child from doing MLM, I truly believe, regardless of how foul the parent's mouth is, right, they want to protect the child.
True.
Right, and they wanted to do that. Except sometimes parents are very harsh in their approach. I had a whole coup d'etat against me. You know, they boycott my whole business. And I think they tried to do what's best. All the while, my mom and my auntie was dealing with New Skin, and but it worked worse because now I feel like, now I see what y'all are, right? Y'all want me to fail. You want Unicity to fail so that New Skin can succeed. Okay, my friends in New Skin, I got nothing against New Skin. Okay, just me versus my mom and my auntie, right? The New Skin's a great company.
Personal story.
New Skin's a great company, but Unicity's a bit better. But Unicity, sorry guys. So they were against it lah. Mainly they were against it. So I had to fight.
Okay, Kelly actually advised when Kelly saw me, Saiful, and the rest of the RAM team growing. There was one day where you actually pulled us aside, and you were telling me about how happy you were seeing us and everything. And one of the things that you mentioned, because you saw a lot of teams broke. Yes. Be it in Unicity or be it in other MLMs.
Yes.
And especially these kind of things, this is facts. Like, we cannot run away from it. Most of the time, it happens to the Malay community in the MLM culture. Like, what do you feel like is the main problem? That you see?
I can see why this is hot seat. This is very sensitive. I just want to say first, right, I grew up with a lot of Malay friends. And I do think the Malay community is a community of people that probably work one of the hardest. I mean, y'all can say whatever you want about each other, but you guys work the hardest. You guys had some of the toughest jobs. And even the Malays with good incomes that I know, they work their asses off. So I have deep respect for the Malays. But it's also true what you say, ID, that a lot of the breakdowns, group dynamic breakdowns, the backstabbings, it happens a lot in the MLM community for the Malay community. Happens largely because, right, there is a lot of politics. And I've also seen where these politics come from. On one hand, right, the Malay community is very good at the kampong spirit. This is the biggest strength of the Malay community. And sometimes I wish they can hold on to it in a positive light. But the politics come because on the surface, nobody... Okay, bottom line is, everything breaks down when somebody sees something that they're not happy about. Don't say, but tell someone else. And then that thing gets discussed. When they discuss it at the side, and this other person that's involved, right, who is part of this discussion, right, as they discuss it more and more, why is usually right, it starts with why he say that, why she do like that, oh, I know this person because actually they think like that. Then actually they're trying to help the situation, but then it's not accurate. It's not accurate. Then they say that, but no leh, it don't make sense leh. Tak tally leh. Then they do like that. They say, oh yeah, do you know what he said? Then the third person come in. You know what he said when you're not listening? What? Oh, he said like that. Kime. Am I allowed to say that? But this is something I
Now
hear
you
a
all
lot.
know why we call him Wakel or not. Apart from him smoking udang rambut.
I learned this from my friend Al Fahad. Right?
Okay. Right. So that's the main kind of problems.
That's the main problem. And then that thing that may or may not have been true becomes a monstrosity. But the simple thing that could have been solved was that, hey, I feel that, go to the person directly and say that, when you did this, I felt like that. And I want to make sure our friendship is not impacted. Could you help me understand why that happened? And if you speak about it, and even if that conversation got angry, right, it was direct. But it was not discussed with other people. Because now with the discussion on the side, right, now the person with the negativity won. The other person is, oh, I didn't know this person like that. Oh, like that one. Never judge a book by its cover. That's a phrase that's so misused. Never judge a book by its cover. Now, that's how I see this person. I know already. So then it spreads. Then the spreading comes to this person. What, this person talk behind my back. It happens a lot, right? Talk behind my back. And sometimes it's very petty. Why he slammed the door when why I walk in, he rolled the eye like that? It could have been...
Can be small things like that.
Yeah. I've learned one thing though. What does it mean if I do this? What does it mean?
People will think it's angry.
You could think it's angry.
You're unhappy about something.
Unhappy. Or could it also be I'm killing an ant? It could be one of many things, but none of which you can confirm. You can't confirm any of this. The only truth is cup hit chair. That's the only truth, and that's the only truth we can talk about. But the intention behind that is something we do not know.
All you needed to do was ask that person.
Precisely. All you need to do is ask the person. You clear that. And actually, 100% of all my Malay friends are good-natured. They're well-meaning. So nobody wants to see nobody being bad. And that's why the anger when somebody is seen to be bad, right, is so high, because everyone expects the other person to be good. And very sayang, everybody is intrinsically good. So if we can just learn to talk to one another, none of these things will happen. And I tell you this, if fellow Malay friends from the Malay MLM side, if you all try this, right, I truly believe that the Malay community will be one of the richest through MLM. That is my personal belief. Consistently, a Chinese group barely matches up with a Malay group in multi-level marketing. And you guys have something going on.
Alright. Kelly, last question before we end the Hot Seat podcast. This is one story that I've been trying to dig from you from just now. I've been trying to steer the boat to that area, but I still couldn't get there.
Yes, ask me directly.
I'm just going to ask you directly. We know that you are the longest one, and right now everybody knows you own 2 Porsche. So definitely, and wearing Coach jacket, definitely well-off man to do.
Okay.
Well-to-do off kind of man. Okay. So now the question, but it was not the case from the beginning.
No.
And one of the stories that we have heard is that you were actually the outcast of your time.
I was.
Right. The togetherness that we see in Ray-M, the togetherness that we see in Wolves right now, in all the other teams, you did not have that.
No.
You were most of the time alone in the office, being casted away. Nobody wants to talk to you. Even up to this point, there are people who are actually associated with you come to the office do not want to talk to you.
You've seen that, right?
Yeah, I've seen that, and sometimes it's funny because when these are the people that I see almost every day coming to the office, and then when I say actually this one who, oh this one my upline, this one my downline,
Yeah.
and I'm like, how come you're not talking like how I'm talking to Saiful and all
Yeah,
that? So
yeah.
I just want to ask, like, why was that the case, and what happened to the point where they actually outcasted you that to that extent?
Well, this is a hot seat, so I suppose we can deal with sensitive stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was constantly victimized by my mentor. I had a mentor who was the person that encouraged me in Coffee Bean.
Ah,
Okay, I was encouraged by that mentor, but as a young person, right, I was impatient to make it work. So he had a way of doing things, and I'm constantly trying to think of a hack to make it faster,
okay.
right? and I recognize young people will be like that. I was like that, so I was constantly trying to push, and at the start it was easy for my mentor at the time to handle me because however I push, how I deviate, right, it wouldn't work.
Okay.
It was so bad, but then I started to grow. I started to build up. Then I did stupid things like I got married to an associate in Thailand,
Oh, a university distributor in Thailand.
a university president in Thailand.
Whew.
Yeah,
And you had no ranks yet.
I was a senior director. I was a director at the time. She was a senior director at the time.
Damn.
Yeah,
I executive director can.
you want?
Siao ah. My wife kill you that you know.
Nothing to do with me. They're just ex-wife really. So I broke the biggest taboo, which was to date and marry someone else from a different organization, because there's a constant fear that you'll be stolen away, right? So on one hand, I was starting to succeed outside of how my mentor at the time wanted me to succeed. It was easy to control that way. On the other hand, I started going out and dating and getting married to someone who was outside of his organization. I mean, his insecurity went to the max. I think. And so it came to a point where, right, as I climb up each rank, you know, if you were to go up each rank, right, I would say, well done, I'm proud of you. I go up each rank and say, Kelly, you may have hit this rank, but then this is not how we do it. I need to sit down with you and talk. I get a lecture from up ranking, you know. I get
What
a
the
lecture
hell?
from performing. Yeah. It was painful. It was painful because I didn't have a dad. He was like a father figure. So it was something like, what in the world is happening? So I really thought I was doing something bad.
Wait, during the meetings, what was being said? Like he was fucking you upside down for hitting the rank, or
You hit this rank, but show me how you did it. So I showed him the strategy. How is this allowed? Why is this allowed? How can you do like that? Do you know this is not stable? But I hit the rank, right? I got the volume, right? Why do I not get? You encourage the guy over there or that girl over there. He loves encouraging girls.
oh, okay.
Oh, the girl over there, and you scold me. I mean, you know how hard I fought, right? And he started, it became every rank. It became every rank, and I learned later on that there's a whole story about that paints me as this dark rebel. I was like the Anakin Skywalker that will eventually walk the dark side, painted to the university corporate office.
By him.
I'm pretty sure it's got its origins from there, right? Most of my big mentors from Thailand would think I'm a troublemaker. Right? Kunjo, right? Huge troublemaker. Me, not him.
Can I meet him in October? I've been hearing so many things about
I would
him.
love to introduce him to you.
Yeah.
And so it got so eventually I started to realize something was wrong. I climbed the ranks. I was at the verge of being a president. In fact, I was at the verge of being president almost 9 years ago.
What the shit?
Yes, almost 9 years ago. I was on the verge of being president, and eight years ago, I was on the verge of being president. I was executive director already, and I fought really hard. That means 10 over years hit ED. How fast it took? That fast, So suddenly, I started to see my agents, my junior partners, my downlines started to avoid me. And then I was wondering, what did I do? I've done nothing but support you. And then things started playing in my mind. I got angry. I got upset. I spoke to them. I argued with them. This and that. I found out later that there was an entire group chat created. That group chat was called K2.
K2.
Kelly 2.
Oh, okay.
My group that I created was about 600 people. That was what they would dub, I imagine, K1. K2 was everybody in my group, right, that had good relationship with that particular mentor. And then it was all about no longer working with Kelly. There was this thing about how eventually I'll be kicked out from the team. It was that whole story. And I had amazing people, I had owner of should I be saying this? The owner of a very famous building with a lot of cars. Okay, I had people who were top in insurance. I know I'm not supposed to do, but yeah, they were there, right? I had people who were big business people, and eventually they started avoiding. And it was the biggest betrayal I felt. It was so bad. At one point, I didn't know what to do, Saifu said he's rebuilt his team a few times. That was the biggest betrayal I had. So I understand how he felt. I remember one night I just walked out. I was staying at Telok Kurau at that time. I walked out 3 a.m. walked until 6 a.m. in the middle of the night. I was thinking, what do I do? Do I rebuild again? And then I came to this idea, maybe I'll just rebuild again. And those that were building the business, right, since they're still in my team, my mentor at the time take care of them. I still got volume. I just rebuilt the whole thing. They got worse, but the first person that from that group that eventually stood with me was Crystal. Crystal was in K2.
Oh, she was?
She was once upon a time the most vocal anti-Kelly activist. Once upon a time.
The resting bitch face Crystal.
That time she was more alien. Resting bitch came right after president, right? No, executive director. So she came but
Crystal's gonna kill me the next time after she hears this.
Yeah. But to give it to her, right? Crystal was instrumental in the rebuild. She started to wake up from the matrix. She started to realize that a lot of the things that was said about me, right, didn't actually happen. But I lost a lot of good people. Eventually, I was stopped. I was uninvited to lots of meetings. I was forcibly removed from the leadership group chats. Then that time, right, I was still have volume, but I know it's gonna go downhill. And I only had a handful of downlines, and the only one that was really super loyal was Crystal at the time. So we had to rebuild all the way towards COVID. Then COVID happened and rebuild the whole momentum again. Then later, until we had what we have today. I'm thankful for the people that came through in our life. A big thank you to Crystal, because Crystal was one of the few that believed me when no one else did. Everyone left, but it helps when you are trying to build something and you have your first loyal follower. And when you turn that first loyal follower into a leader, right? You have, and I learned a lot of things looking at my ex-mentor. Today, right? I think it's lost most of its power. And when I say power, I mean the standing lah. You can't keep building. His story today is a story full of fallouts, broken down teams, decimated teams, and it's all throughout the week. Once upon a time, he was the biggest, greatest in Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei. Today I am. Today we are, I've learned a lot from him. The first thing I learned is, right, always accept that the younger generation will be better. They will climb up fast. They will learn a lot from you, and they'll come up with their own ideas. And the best way to support the young generation is to let them have a goal at what they want to try, but always be able to catch them when they fall. And that's one of those things that I'm conscious about when I worked with Crystal, and then later when I worked with Saifu. It was important to do that. So many times Saifu has done insane things that I wouldn't have done, like talk to influencers.
So that's why you have never stopped us whenever we come up with something crazy.
Never, because I think you guys want the success as much as or if more than me for you, right? So if you came up with this idea, it was because it was from your perspective something that was important, and because I'm a third party, strictly speaking, I don't always see your daily life, right? I wouldn't know it as well as you do, but all I know from age difference is I know what can happen through my experience with people. So I make it a point to offer advice, but let you guys do what you want to do. And it's been one of the best decisions I've made, you know. I mean, look at you. You are my pride, ID. You're my pride. Really.
No, you made me blush.
And
Stop.
you know, right? That's one thing. And the second thing is to always accept that eventually the young generation will surpass you. And that is one of the greatest lesson a leader can learn, and a greatest lesson that the parents can learn. Because being a parent and being a leader, right, it's not so different actually. If you have this idea that a leader in business is more like a manager, you got it wrong. A leader in business is more like a parent. And if you're a parent that over controls your children, you're a parent that decides where your children should head to, eventually they're going to hate you for it. But if you're a parent that guides your children, let them try what they want to do. I mean, some things you don't let them try, right? Like take drugs, right? You don't, right? Guide them through. Always understand that the parent is a parent and not a friend. Too many parents in my generation, Generation X, tries too hard to be friends with their kids. If you're friends with your kids, then their friends become the parents. So they listen to them more. Same thing for leadership in business. You have to be the leader. You have to be able to put your foot down and say some things can do, some things cannot. And even if you have the power to put your foot down and make the final say, right, you still allow them to do what they want to do. That shows a lot, you know. That makes a huge difference. And I think then people know that you really stand for them. You really care for them. And so far, that as a guiding principle has guided me well. And I think back about it, right? That is how the mentors in my early part of my life, the good ones, that's how they were. That's how they were. That they when I got into MLM, right? They were not the ones that boycotted me. The ones that say I can buy some from you, but don't ask me to do.
Okay.
Don't ask me to do, but I'll buy from you. And that's where I got my $8.
Okay, Kelly, last one.
Yes.
This one is not a question, but I'm going to give you the chance to practice all the makrib that you have learned.
Okay.
Put in all the wakal inside you. I need you to, if you have this chance to say something to all the people that have boycotted you or backstabbed you, what do you want to say to them?
There are two sides to that. There are two sides to that. The devil will say, fuck you, understand? I have more money than you guys now. And I'm not even shy to say that. I have more money than you guys now. I know all of you. I have more money than all of you now. And you guys are nowhere. But the angel in me, and I think I was brought up with better angels, right? The angel in me will say that if you open the door to our friendship again, I'll help you. Because I think whatever you've done in the past, right, I'll still be happy to help you. Because everyone is an individual. Everyone is somebody's son or daughter. Everyone is somebody's parent. Everyone is somebody's sibling. And if I can help you, you may not like me, I may not like you, but you will make your family's life great again. That is my thoughts.
Damn. Wait, you would honestly help?
I would.
Back.
Even that mentor I have, I'll tell you the truth. I've told Lily, the regional manager, I said that if it helps, I have no problem working with that mentor again. I would love to help because whatever hate I have, right, I must admit the first 7 years he guided me. And I think it's important to have some form of gratitude. It's important to build everything you have at its root, right? It's gratitude. Gratitude to God, gratitude to people that came in and out of your life. The enemies, I mean, I think it's a deep thing to understand. The enemies in your life are actually your friends from the other point of view. They had to be your enemies so that you become something else. It shapes you.
Alright guys, that's gonna be the end of our Hot Seat podcast. Thank you so much, Kelly,
Hey, thank
for
you.
joining and sharing all those amazing stories. I'm sure a lot of us, even for myself, I definitely have learned a lot, especially the last part here.
Wow.
It's definitely something I wouldn't do myself. And yeah, your story really inspires me. 7 years holding on with nothing. It's something that I would have never ever done. Trust me, I would have left after seven months of
you
not
say that,
earning
Adi.
anything.
You say that, but I think you would, because I think you're that kind of person. You got a lot of grit. I think you're amazing.
You see, this is what I mean. His motivational class went well. Alright guys, so thank you so much for joining the Hot Seat podcast. Please, for all our viewers, ID's viewers, don't forget to follow Kelly on his account here. And for those of you who are listening to our Spotify account, don't forget to follow Kelly at Kelly Joseph Lim.
At anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere.
Instagram, Facebook. You go Google, you find
Yeah,
me.
I heard he's on LinkedIn too. So yeah, go check it
Yeah.
out. See you guys in the next Hot Seat podcast. Ciao.
Hot Seat Podcast.